You know, we often get on Disney parks and resorts for their maintenance issues, and some of them can be easily ignored. A little dust on the light here and there, maybe a couple of screws that need to be tightened, a little bit of paint here and there that needs to be touched up. But this time, it seems that Frontierland is full of sewage. You know, the Frontierland that they're about to demolish the rivers of America? The Frontierland where they're about to put in a new DVC lounge? That one is full of sewage, and they had to clear the parks. They're not giving anybody any refunds. Let's talk about the river of filth in Disney here on That Park Place.
You know what's happening right now, Marvin, at the parks? Obviously, we have a number of changes with this $60 billion effort to turbocharge the parks. Well, it's more like $30 billion. That's neither here nor there. In the interim, though, maintenance continues to be an issue at the parks. We covered a story back in August of this year talking about a sewage leak that happened in the middle of Liberty Square. And
you know what I find fascinating, Vash? You know, Liberty Square. One of the things that a lot of people miss is there's a brown line that runs down the center of Liberty Square, and that's meant because in colonial times the streets were actually concave, and people would dump their chamber pots into the street, and it would all gather in the middle of the street and flow toward water. And that is what the brown line in the middle of Liberty Square is supposed to signify. Apparently, Disney has decided that's not enough, and we need to really create the experience of walking through just knee-high sewage. So, they're on the cutting edge with their multi-sensory experiences, and they've decided to really bring the sights, the smells, and the full experience of colonial times to the parks. I commend them.
That commitment to theme and immersion, Marvin, is really what sets Disney apart. So I am glad that they are going for the real experiential here. You can see some photos of what happened here. Let me see if I have some. Yep, I got some footage of some cast members desperately trying to clean up what remains.
Are they crying while doing it? Like,
yeah, that's got to be a tough job.
In my life.
It's not so good.
Of course, you know, the nearest restroom is the one right by Pecos Bill's where everyone's eating enchiladas all night.
Oh, no.
That's what I said that broke Lorne.
That's terrible. Well, this is an interesting thing because it's kind of a pattern at not just Magic Kingdom, but actually at Walt Disney World. We'll get into that in just a moment. This from September 3rd, 2023. You can see some cast members forming a line right here because, well, there has been a sewage leak at this point in our juncture as well. You can see right here industrial vehicles out there on Frontierland and Liberty Square. Really part of that immersive process right there. Maybe Walt actually had something to say about that. I don't know. You can see some vehicles there. Like I said before, though, this is not just endemic to Magic Kingdom. This actually happens at Walt Disney World in the larger part as well. See right here, sewage in the straight loops unusable at Fort Wilderness at Walt Disney World as well. August 19, 2024. It's like, why does this keep happening? Well, guess what, folks? It happened again. Oh my goodness gracious. You can see December 2nd, 2024 by Mike. This is Blog Mickey right here. Magic Kingdom's Frontierland and Liberty Square closed due to sewage leak again.
After like the second or third time, is it time to start shopping your resume around?
Yeah.
There's two other theme parks in the Orlando area that don't make you wade through, for lack of a better term, poop.
Yes. You would think, Marvin, that after the third time, you would go, okay, obviously we have some crumbling infrastructure that's been around for 50 years. Let's go ahead and really kind of take a deep dive into
or at least stop selling enchiladas at Pecos Bill's. Clearly, that's the problem, or at least to make it slightly less offensive to the people that have to clean it up.
It's just slightly less foul.
People like to say Disney takes care of its cast members. I don't think so. They're putting taco bowls on that menu.
Yeah, I think Kristen McCarthy, the ex-CFO of the Walt Disney Company, when she said she was really assisting guests with their waistlines by cutting down portion sizes for the food that they serve, I don't think she really talked about the quality of such food and how that could change as well.
Oh, she didn't mention the fact that she turned it into basically school cafeteria food?
Yeah, No, I don't think she mentioned that right there.
In both quality and presentation, I might add. Like, I was at Very Merry Christmas Party like 2 weeks ago, and I got the pot roast hot dog, and I was like, someone poop on my hot dog? Like, it looked so gross. Like, it was terrible. Do they know I work for that Park Place?
Yes, yeah. It's, I will be writing about this later. Indeed. It is so strange. Frontierland and Liberty Square are currently partially closed due to a sewage leak in the streets again. This is the third or fourth leak in Frontierland in as many years as Magic Kingdom. We outlined a few of those examples here at the start of this segment here. Attractions and shops in the area are closed off as crews work to contain and clean up the leak. Walt Disney World did not return a request for comment for more information. Oh, well, I'm so surprised. Frontierland sewage leak. The leak had been contained and drained by the time we showed up this afternoon, but crews were still clearing the streets in front of Country Bear Musical Jamboree. Those bears can really get up to some stuff. Frontierland is closed from near Channels by Adventure down to Liberty Tree Tavern in Liberty Square. It's interesting because operationally, I mean, this has severe impact because you're talking about a main thoroughfare on the western half of this theme park right here. What really is kind of the core of Magic Kingdom, actually. Go ahead, Mark.
Do you think it has anything to do, Vash, with the revamping the Frontierland Shooting Arcade into the DVC Lounge? Do you think that work might be causing the situation to overflow here?
I'm looking at the position of these cast members and how far they are and so forth. I don't think it has anything to do with that, but you can kind of see it's roughly within that proximity and vicinity. They have had issues like this before when working on specific attractions. I remember back in the day when they were converting Submarine Voyage, the original at Disneyland, to what had been mothballed for many years, and then they converted it to Finding Nemo's Submarine Voyage. They had an issue where the plumbing just kind of went haywire and it flooded out a lot of Tomorrowland and so forth. So that is possible. I wouldn't doubt it because it seems like Disney's going for the lowest bidder for a lot of their projects. But it's just so interesting that this is happening over and over and over and over again in this spot in particular. Perhaps maybe that's why they're going to upend much of this for cars. Maybe that has something to do with that. Oh, that's it, Marvin. We figured it out. They're not going to go with mud for the cars attractions
Sewage.
Rally Race. There you go. It's sewage. Wow.
Yep. Man, that makes sense. You know what? It's you know what? They're people and people are constantly making more. They get it for free every day. You gotta buy dirt.
That's true. Yeah, you gotta ship it in. Whereas you're really using your great assets at Walt Disney World Resort.
Disney Recycling, just taking another step forward.
And it really. And now you can keep Liberty Square. It really coincides with that whole theme.
Oh no, they're still getting rid of that.
Okay. We have a story on one of those attractions as well. Interesting to note too. I'll bring this up as well. This isn't just a problem at Disney World. This is also a problem at Disneyland with plumbing issues that one could probably surmise because this is a almost 70-year-old theme park. A lot of aging infrastructure. I mean, back in the day, folks, materials and supplies for projects like this weren't as maybe abundant as we experience today. There are some piping and so forth that which contractors would use stuff like paper and stuff. And I remember there was, I think it was, what is it? I think it was like when they were doing excavation around Tomorrowland recently. They were like, what is this piping? It's not in any blueprints, not in any maps. I mean, nothing was documented. I mean, it was really a hodgepodge, and that has obviously compounded over 70 years. This situation right here, what you're seeing right here, this construction wall used to be the place of a waterfall feature and infrastructure for the nearby restrooms that are just beyond this wall. This has been this way for over a year. Even after,
well, you know what? That makes sense, Vash. I mean, you put a waterfall outside of a restroom with a line on it, people are just going to have to go more.
Yeah, exactly. Well, yeah, that's a fair point right there. I didn't quite think of that. Operationally, this is nonsense. You can see right here, Cavalcade's canceled. this is a main thoroughfare for Magic Kingdom where cavalcades and parades actually go through. When you have something like this happen, it upends everybody's day, not just from the smell.
They should do the rainy day parade through. Drizzle, drizzle, splash, splash.
It would be in theme. Oh boy, but we thought we'd share that with you folks because it's quite the the number 2 situation indeed. Marvin's got me. He's got me laughing so much this morning. Thank you so much. Go and Shogi with the 499. Whatever those maintenance workers make to clean that up, it's not enough. Everything in the parks has sugar, and sugar's not your gastric friend. Yes.
It might be a worse job than the guys that I saw in the Christmas parade, where like the beautiful horse-drawn carriage with Cinderella and Prince Charming comes by, and then you got these 2 guys with like a broom and a like a basket following behind them. That's probably the worst job in all of Disney, but they do, you know what? They do the work that needs to be done.
Yes. Oh, during Mickey's Not So Scary, you have the parade that goes by with the Headless Horseman, and you usually have the entourage of they're in janitorial staff uniforms, but you can see the big dumpster and the big shovel right there. You know what their job is up to.
Professional pooper scoopers.
Yeah, let's go ahead and go with that. Yeah, maybe you could have a cavalcade or something in this area that provides those cast members employment in that scenario as well. Very interesting. Thank you so much, Go and Chogi, for that. All those journal, the 199. Thank you so much again. In that picture, they all look constipated. Yeah.
I think that they're all trying to be constipated just because, they've got quite the weight to get into that restroom.
Oh, man. It's so bad. Why is this happening, Marvin? Why can't they maintain their parks?
Because they don't want to. They used to maintain them just fine.
That indeed they did. And Gary Knight Beast with the Canadian $2. Looks like Disney will hire white men for some jobs.
They need to just get like some of the animals from the Flintstones to like be doing it, and then give it a turn to the camera and give it an amusing one-liner, and it goes blah, blah, blah.
Fantastic.
You think you've got a poop job?
Yes, indeed.
Thanks for watching That Park Plays News. For more information, consider checking out www.thatparkplace.com. And don't forget to subscribe, share, like, and send this out on your favorite social media accounts.